Every December, the global landscape undergoes a massive retail blitz. We see billions of dollars spent, endless advertising campaigns, and oceans of artificial lights. But strip away the modern machinery, and you're left with a name that points to something different: Christ's Mass. To find the origin of that name, we have to look past the modern spectacle and travel back 2 millennia to the harsh realities of the ancient Middle East. We start here. This historical photograph shows the landscape of Nazareth. 2,000 years ago, it was a tiny, unremarkable agricultural town, and living inside it was an entirely ordinary, low-status, unmarried Jewish teenager named Mary. The holiday that now drives the global economy began with a peasant girl whose existence barely registered on the ledgers of the ancient world. According to the biblical account, Mary's quiet life was interrupted by a divine messenger. Gabriel, an entity of immense authority in the celestial hierarchy, suddenly appeared to her. Gabriel delivered a staggering directive. He told Mary she was going to have a son. She was to name him Jesus, and he would carry the title Son of God. In the ancient world, a title like that carried massive geopolitical weight. It set an expectation for a royal arrival, a birth accompanied by silk sheets, backed by elite guards, and immense wealth. Mary, holding zero social capital or money, accepted the mandate, agreeing to carry a burden that seemed impossible for someone in her position to manage. So the divine expectations were set, but almost immediately the machinery of human geopolitics intervened to make this birth as difficult as physically possible. Halfway across the known world, the Roman Emperor Caesar Augustus issued a sweeping, inflexible decree. Everyone under Roman rule had to return to their ancestral hometowns to register for a new tax census. This mandate was non-negotiable. It forced Mary and her soon-to-be husband Joseph to pack up whatever they could carry and leave Nazareth, right as she was nearing the end of her pregnancy. Tracing their required route on a map reveals a grueling 65-mile trek from Nazareth down to Bethlehem. This multi-day journey on foot through rough, steep terrain would have been excruciating for a woman in her 3rd trimester. The highest authority in the known world had unknowingly dictated the harshest possible conditions for this prophesied king to arrive. When the exhausted couple finally reached Bethlehem, they hit a massive logistical wall. Because of the emperor's census, the small town was completely overrun with travelers, and the rigid local infrastructure had no room left. As Mary went into active labor, Joseph desperately moved through the crowded streets, knocking on heavy doors and asking for any available room, only to be turned away time and time again. Out of options and out of time, they took refuge in a crude, dirty stable meant for housing livestock. The promised Son of God did not arrive in a marble palace. A newborn infant was instead laid down in a manger, a wooden feeding trough, hastily filled with fresh hay. This is the paradox at the center of the historical text. The figure expected to wield ultimate divine authority entered the world in the most vulnerable, degraded conditions imaginable. An event of this supposed magnitude required a grand announcement, but instead of sending couriers to the political elite or the religious authorities in Jerusalem, the message skipped the centers of power entirely. The angels bypassed the wealthy. Instead, they appeared in the dead of night to a group of shepherds, keeping watch over their flocks on the rocky hillsides. The celestial messengers delivered terrifying but joyful news to these men. The long-awaited Savior they had heard stories about had finally been born nearby. Shepherds at this time were essentially outcasts at the bottom of the social ladder. They were the first witnesses invited to verify the prophecy, an audience matching the gritty reality of the stable itself. The shepherds abandoned their fields and rushed into Bethlehem. They pushed past the crowds and found the scene exactly as the angels had described: a poor couple and a baby sleeping in an animal's trough. These uneducated laborers became the very first messengers of the Christmas story. They returned to their fields, telling everyone they met what they had seen, leaving a sense of wonder in their wake. That wonder left a permanent physical footprint. This is the Church of the Nativity, built over the site where that stable is believed to have stood. It has outlasted the Roman Empire that forced Mary and Joseph to travel there in the first place. Beyond the modern commercial magic, the 2,000-year-old story of Christmas endures because it challenges the traditional definitions of power, proving that durable legacies often begin in the most unexpectedly humble places.